There's no worse feeling than working incredibly hard to get a funded account or get funded and then losing it a week or a month later because you don't feel worthy of scaling or managing that amount of capital. So I wanted to put together a very cool, practical video, a very practical thing that you can implement the moment you get funded to automatically feel worthy of that funding and to significantly increase the probability of holding on to and scaling and trading successfully that funding. Okay, this is something that I've implemented with many of my clients, many of my students in the 12-week program. This is something that will help shift your mindset from feelings of unworthiness to knowing you're worthy of that funding with certainty, which is going to significantly improve the probability of being successful trading that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this masterclass. Do this the moment you get funded. The big problem we're addressing here is the psychological impact of trading more and more capital. And traders can often make significant jumps in capital after funding. You may start initially on a small account, learn how to trade on that, develop your system, develop a trading plan, and then you may go off and pick up $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 worth of funding initially. You may pick up more later down the track. So this may actually lead to feelings of unworthiness. All of a sudden you're trading a lot more capital. So am I even worthy of this? And then I've got a lot of messages of individuals who have taken on this amount of capital and relative to what their family makes or relative to the society they live in or the country they live in, this is unheard of or unspoken amounts of money. So those types of belief systems and those types of thought processes can impact your ability to be worthy with that money. And these feelings can lead to poor trading habits and ultimately eventually losing that account. So what I want to do right now is bring up the iPad. I want to show you a very cool thing you can implement the moment you get funded to significantly increase the probability of feeling worthy and significantly increasing the probability of being successful with that funding. So the moment you get funded, what you want to be doing is getting a piece of paper and a pen and then literally just ruling a line down that middle of that page. And then let's say, for example, you picked up $100,000 worth of funding. And you may feel a little bit unworthy of that initially. You want to write that on the right side of the page. Then on the left side of the page, we want to bring balance to our mind and realize that there's just a compensation here. The right equals the left. So on the left, I want to be writing down all the work I've put in the past, all the things I've sacrificed, all the unpaid work of back testing, forecasting, all the losses you've taken in the market, all those types of things, all the relationships you've sacrificed, all the friendships you've sacrificed, all the times you said no to going out or doing certain things that you wanted to do because you were dedicated to your trading and development there. Okay, so on the left, you want to start to bring balance to the mind. Here, you're initially perceiving that you've gained money. And the reason you'll feel unworthy of that is because you don't in your mind perceive that you've worked for that or put time in for that or put energy and effort in. So on the left side, you want to start to make yourself aware of what you've lost. Okay, hope that makes sense. So on the left here, let's say for example, you do 6 hours of back testing every week. And let's say you value your time at, let's say $200 an hour. And if you're doing, and you did that over a 3-month period, so what's that? 6 times 200 equals 1,200. It's $1,200 a week. And how many weeks are there in 3 months? Well, you got about 12, let's say 13 weeks by 13. Okay, and the math on that, I've got no idea. Let's say $15,000. Okay. Is that reasonable? Does that sound about right? Yep, about $15,000. So on the left, you've got $15,000 worth of back testing that you didn't get paid for in the past, and that's being compensated partially to that $100,000. So you can minus $15,000 from here, and all of a sudden you're left with $85,000 unaccounted for still. Maybe there was a relationship here that you've sacrificed, because you're putting so much time, energy, and effort into your trading and with an X, and you value that relationship at $10,000, 10K. So we can minus another 10,000 and we're at 75,000. Maybe there was a big one here that you had $30,000 worth of crypto losses in the crypto crash. So we can subtract another 30,000 and you're left with 45,000. Okay, now I'm just using random examples here just to get your brain thinking, but you want to make sure that everything you write down here, you're certain on. You're certain you put that amount of back testing in, and you're certain you value your time at $200. You want to figure out what your price is, and you're certain that you lost that amount of money in crypto or whatever. You want to be putting down your price, the amount of money that you value there, to make sure you're bringing balance to the checking scale. And you want to keep listing things here that you've lost in the past until eventually you get to zero here. And the thought process goes from, I've gained $100,000 of capital, I don't feel worthy of that, to, holy crap, I've worked for this money in the past, I wasn't paid in the past, all that's happening now is I'm being compensated fairly for the work and the sacrifices I put in the past. Now all of a sudden you feel worthy of that $100,000 because you know you've earned it, okay? So implement this mindset hack, bring balance to your mind, look in all 7 areas of life to see things you've lost over the time, and be certain of everything you've been putting down in this box here to ensure you bring balance to your mind and realize that you don't really gain anything for the funding. You're just being compensated for the unpaid work of the past, the sacrifices of the past. You don't really gain anything for the funding. You're just being compensated for the unpaid work of the past, the sacrifices of the past. Okay, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Share this video with your friends, your trading friends, and your trading community if you know they'll get value from it. And if you enjoy learning about trading mindset and you recognize the importance of it, check out the 12-week program. That's going to absolutely blow your mind in terms of the things you learn in there. There's currently a 7-day free trial, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.